Manchester City will try to tie Rodri down until 2029. We've got plenty to get into today, though. Jack Grealish to Napoli could be a thing. Morgan Gibbs-White isn't coming, and McAtee will stay in England. Let's aim for 50 likes in this video, though. Not greedy. 50. I'm happy with 50. Let's do 50. Right, so with Real Madrid sniffing around, Manchester City want and need to act fast. And in my eyes, Rodri would never do it anyway. But if there's one thing we know, it's that in football, anything can happen. Manchester City fans know how important of a player Rodri is. Our win-loss and draw record with and without Rodri shows it. Club World Cup, he looked a bit shaky, but we all know this was a long road of recovery. And sometimes people forget how, the mental side does affect you. The negative side effects mentally that are attributed to a big injury like the one that Rodri had. We've seen it in other players like Luke Shaw. After his injury, he never really recovered mentally or physically, and it does show. Whenever Luke Shaw goes in for a tackle, it never looks good, and it always looks like he kind of pulls out because he's still got that PTSD from that big injury he had. And that mental affliction attributed towards an injury like that, it would affect us all. For a footballer, a year out is a very long time, and it also affects your future as a footballer. And you've always got that playing on you because you think, what if I don't come back? What if I'm never that player again? That's why I think Rodri's just come back and got stuck straight in. I think he's thought, no, you know what? This is my career. This is my future. So when we did see Rodri in the Club World Cup, he wasn't scared to get in there and go for a tackle. Obviously, he needs to refine his art again. He's such a wonderful player, and we've seen Rodri do multiple things that not all players can do. Rodri is one of a kind. He's a Ballon d'Or winner, the best CDM in the world, in my opinion. I think anyone would struggle to give me a better CDM than Rodri. So yeah, we do need him back, and I think Man City trying to get him back on, trying to get him on this contract until 2029. It shows promise. They can obviously see that he's recovering well, and let's hope that we can get that contract signed. Him going to Real Madrid would hurt. Real Madrid don't even need him. Let's be fair. They're still looking for a Toni Kroos replacement, but Rodri, he's ours. Hopefully, he's ours. Hopefully, he stays ours until 2029 at least. Next, Jack Grealish's driver Salvatore spoken out saying that there's a chance Jack could go to Napoli. Said he's had a training session. What I don't know the context of that. Like training session where he's holidaying off the Amalfi Coast right now. For me, this is probably just a loan move where we pretty much pay everything, and this is just to get him, away from Manchester City so that we can concentrate on the here and now. Jack Grealish, very good player. We all know Jack Grealish is a good player. His attitude, obviously, Pep doesn't like his attitude. That must be why either Pep doesn't like the attitude or the club have thought, no, that attitude isn't what we're looking for. We need commitment, 100% commitment. Jack Grealish just enjoys the party life a bit too much. That's all I can think of is to the reason why he doesn't get played or he's moving on. Up next, sources from Manchester City say they're happy with the midfield that they have and don't plan on signing anyone else, which means Morgan Gibbs-White, the video from yesterday, the Morgan Gibbs-White material that I gave you yesterday, obviously has come from people putting 2 and 2 together and getting 5. So the sources say that they're happy with Reinders and Cherky and don't need anyone else, which is very, very good. That's very, very good for us. There was no mention of Nico Gonzalez in that post, but obviously they've said time and time again that he isn't for sale, Nico Gonzalez. So obviously he is in the plans. What them plans are, I think it's an understudy to Rodri, and I think that is his role until he is ready to take on that role. And at that point, he will start getting more minutes, and maybe he's willing to sit and wait for that time. He doesn't look like a stroppy player. So hopefully Nico Gonzalez just knows his role, and he's thinking, well, by the time I'm Rodri's age, maybe I'll be, number one front runner for a contract extension because of how well I'm playing. But yeah, and finally, James McAtee has rejected any possibility of playing abroad. He said he wants to play in England. Obviously, we know he went to Germany a week ago, and he went to see Frankfurt and Dortmund's facilities, from my understanding. He's made it clear now that he wants to play in England. I think a top 6 club in England is the right level for McAtee. I think, that's not too crazy to say. A top 6 club for McAtee is very, very, very right and very, very good. Spurs, I think, would be perfect for him. A Forest, obviously, we know Forest. They did well last season. They dropped off at the end a little bit, but I think he'd suit Forest, and I think he might be able to scrape a top 6 out of the league for Forest if he went there. I think, he'd be a bit of a difference maker. Other clubs that probably won't, get near top 6, but possibilities. I reckon Everton. Everton could use a McAtee. I doubt McAtee would do it, but I think Everton could use a McAtee, a Villa, a Newcastle. Possibilities there. McAtee is a very good player, and I think any club would be glad of having him. So yeah, he's ruled out a move abroad, which shortens that list. Like I said, Everton is probably bottom of that list. I think there's a possible 3 or 4 clubs that McAtee could go to, that he'd want to go to, and that City would be able to sell to because of the funds or whatever, the money. Like I said, yesterday's video, they're holding out for 42.5 million. I don't think they'll get that. I think obviously you got to start high and then drop it a bit lower. It's just basic sales. Basic sales. They said I want 42.5 million. I'll probably get 30, 35. Maybe 35 if there's no sell on or buyback clause included. But who knows? Yeah, that's all I got for you. Like the video, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.